Um, Beautiful. Ah, Kathy's coming. Yay. Fabulous. Awesome to have you, Kathy.
Hello.
Hi. We're just getting started anyway. We were just having a bit of a chat, and I've
Excellent.
tech
I
issues
thought
trying
I'd
to
give
get
you a
this
chance
fixed.
to test. Could you see if I was coming in late or not?
Oh, no, that is actually super useful because
I didn't actually do it on purpose.
it was a good test though, because yeah, it comes up on my slides. It's just making sure that I'm looking at that screen to make sure it's coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at session 4. How crazy is that? We're halfway through, which is awesome.
So there's 2 more weeks.
Yeah, 2 more weeks, Friday and Saturday. So yeah, you've got lots of information. What stood out from yesterday's session for both of you?
For me was, as I said, like that protection, using everything as protection. That just like literally stuck into my brain.
Yeah, awesome. And that is a great lens to now look through. If a client's sabotaging, why? How is
What
this
are you
protecting them?
protecting? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a myriad of different things, but it's a form of protection. Kathy?
The thing for me is that I was thinking about, I said the importance of asking questions, and I thought back. So, Valentina, Kim's my coach, and you keep asking me questions I don't want to answer. But
That's
she
my
does it
job.
really quite nicely. She doesn't necessarily make me answer them on the spot. She just plants them in my brain.
And let them marinade.
Yes, but that's the thing. It's not just asking good questions, it's being prepared to ask the hard questions.
Yeah,
I think that's what I took away from it.
yeah. It's not allowing your clients to slip and slide away from those difficult questions, because it's those difficult questions that create the breakthroughs.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to pull them back and say, hey,
Mm.
I need you to answer this. And another coach once was described as a velvet sledgehammer, and just it's a great way to put it. That you do it with care, and I say love and care. I have no problem saying I love my clients. I say that I'm doing this from. I know this is hard to hear. I'm asking hard questions, but I'm doing it from a place of love and care, so that you can get the breakthrough that you need. So sometimes just framing it there that you do genuinely care about them is just you need them to answer the question for their own breakthrough, because we can't go to sleep at night thinking, oh, I didn't put everything on the table. I let them slip and slide away from that difficult question, because that's the question that you need to ask. So it's being comfortable with asking those difficult questions and pulling them back if they try to slip and slide away, because they will, metaphorically. Beautiful. Okay, so far we've learned a lot about beliefs, identities, patterns, secondary gain, and then this session we're looking at what keeps those patterns in place. So we knew that 6 core needs is one of those ways that we keep those patterns in place, but this is putting another framework to it. So your client gets stuck, and a lot of the clues to help them break through comes in their language. Language is really, really important. So that's what
Your mic is fading in and out, Kim, just letting you know.
I'm a bit closer, and hopefully, thank you for that, because I didn't
No
know.
worries.
Hopefully that is okay. So let's talk car and stone. By the way, this is my beautiful car that took 10 years of manifesting and hard work to achieve. So I thought because we're talking about car and stone, and it's funny because in this photo, I'm actually 5 months pregnant. So I put it on social media, but at that point, I still hadn't told everybody I was pregnant. So I'm trying to
Oh,
hide my baby belly. But this is the vision that I had in my mind that pulled me for many years was the Louboutin heels, which I love. I've got an obsession with heels. Freddie jeans and the BMW. And it's having that vision that pulls you and that identity and who you want to be. And I just happened to be 5 months pregnant. So, yes, that was a bit of fun. Uh, so, we're talking car and stone, but this is an analogy. Is it an analogy? And I'm going to flip to the teacher. Kathy's a teacher. Is it an analogy when it's like C stands for this, A stands for that? That's not the word, is it? Non-melody.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't remember the word right now in English,
Acronym.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Acronym?
Acronym?
Acronym.
Yeah,
Acronym,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, I
there you
think
go.
that's the word I'm after, acronym. Okay, so a car is rolling down the hill, and that is our clients. And suddenly it hits a big stone, and that's when they get stuck and they indulge in their stories and excuses, and everything is too hard. If we can get them comfortable with hearing, "Are you being a stone or a car?" then they'll able to, once I explain what stone and car stand for, then you'll be able to pull them out a little bit faster because they're used to this framework. So a car is choice, action, and 100% responsibility. So if a client is stuck in a certain position, what is your choice? And no choice is not an answer because there's always choices. What actions can they take? And how can they be 100% responsible? And sometimes I add the little bit about how can you be fully adult. So we've learned over the last few days, last few weeks, that sometimes we revert to our childhood coding and act as if we are still the child and that little child is still running the show. So how can I be 100% responsible and responsibly adult? And then if they're being stuck, they're telling stories, they're telling you why it's too hard, they're obfuscating, which means like smoke screening and pretending that it's okay. They say things like, "I don't have any choice," or "no choice," and excuses. And there's different ways, different coaches will use different frameworks. I like Calm Stone because it's easy to remember, but like above the line behavior and below the line behavior, or bed and something. On the court and off the court is another version I've heard. But I like this Calm Stone because it stands for set things. So living life as a stone, someone that just lets life happen to them. They're the victim in all the stories. Where someone that's a car, they take action and they don't become the victim in the story. They're not the actor in the story. They're the author. And that's another way of saying this is, are you an author in your story, or are you just playing the actor? Letting life all just happen to you and just responding to the things, not taking steps forward and being in reactive mode. And they'll have all sorts of things that if only you knew what happened to me, you would understand. Well, actually, no, we've now learned that that's all about the story that you tell yourself. It's basically because of the kids that I can't get to the gym, or because I don't have any money, I can't afford more than one PT, or I don't have time, it's too hard, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too short. I could use that excuse. I've had a client a smidgen shorter than me, and the reason why she couldn't get promotions at work is because she's too short. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting story. Where I've always used my height as because I'm 5'1" or 154 centimeters, I've always used that as an excuse to go, let me prove to you what I can do. But she was the opposite. She used it as an excuse why she couldn't have something. I'm a woman, I'm not smart enough. And these are all limitations that we've put on ourselves or we've agreed with from society. And it's like, we can do something about this. So, what kind of excuses and stories? And we know that Kathy might use the lens of her coaching clients for careers, and that's perfectly fine as well, because how we do one thing is how we do many, and we can map similar stories across to PT world with nutrition and training as well. Valentina, what are some of the stories that you hear from your clients?
I heard a lot about the kids one that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
I can't because I've got kids. I can't because of work. I can't because my husband. I can't
Mm.
lose weight because my husband wants to go out every weekend.
Or
That's
he
that.
buys the chocolates. I'm like, yeah, but you're the one putting them in your mouth.
Like I eat chocolate every day anyway, so yeah, I've heard a lot of excuses during the years, but that the main ones are like the kids,
Mm.
the husband, and work. The I don't have time. That those are the three main ones that I hear every single time.
Yeah, yeah, they usually boil down to those main ones. I love. There's a funny saying. I don't have time is the adult version of the dog ate my homework,
No.
which is hilarious. It goes along the lines of my other puppy dog one, which is we don't reward ourselves with food. We're not puppy dogs. I love that one. I use that one on my clients a lot. I'm like, oh, so you've got this goal, and what will be the reward? Or you achieve this, what would be your reward? And they say something food related. I'm like, no, you're not a puppy dog. We don't reward you with food. But yeah, it just gets them a bit of a pattern interrupt and get them out of that behavior. Kathy, what are some of the excuses that you hear?
I've got one at the moment. The guy who is interviewing but not getting jobs.
Mm.
And he is absolutely convinced it's his age. And age definitely plays a part. But some people just come across as old
Mm.
and they don't know they're coming across as old, like old-fashioned, set in their ways, all of those things. And if he really wants to have a job, it's something that he needs to shift. But he's so convinced that the other people are just looking at the fact of his age that there's nothing he can change.
Which is
So,
amusing that you're his coach. You could use that as an excuse, but you don't.
exactly. And yeah, it's the irony of it, particularly because I'm a grey-haired coach,
Mm.
that you think that he would be connecting the dots.
So he hasn't yet, obviously. And Valentina, Kathy is on the forefront of AI. And you think if we used age as an excuse, why would she learn a new skill? Yet she's way ahead with AI. So, yeah, more excuses. They're just excuses. The other one is try saying it's not a priority, because that's very different language as opposed to, oh, just I can't because of. So we use it as human beings. We all do it, is to justify habits and behaviors.
I've had to learn to be smarter justifying them, Valentina, because people will remind me that I'm procrastinating. So I do my puzzles to help my brain health.
That's not a procrastination tool at all. Or the one about social media. Oh, I'm on there for work. It's like, well, how much of it was work? What tangible outcomes came out of it? And being stone, there's disempowerment, there's no choice, there's no option to change, there's no control over your position. You're just being stuck by obfuscation, procrastinating, self pity, excuses, anything that I've missed. Victim, that's part of it.
Oh, yeah, victims there. Yeah.
How was
I
it?
mean, yeah, victim's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's your gentleman that is going for interviews.
Could
I love
be.
spider webs. I thought that was funny. Okay, so we spoke about this, and we're going to think of these particular clients. We spoke about this yesterday, but what would be the false benefit of using kids, time, money, husband as an excuse?
The thing I keep reverting back to is protection.
Yep. You're such a good student. I love it. You've got it. Protection looks different for every client. You've got it. And that's where the 7 empowered eating sabotages come through.
I remember you said something, you said, or did I don't remember if you said something or if I read it in the book yesterday. Now I'm getting confused, but
That's right.
there was something along the line of like, we keep doing what, no, you said it. Yeah, you said it on the call. We keep doing something because it serves us. Either way, like whether we like it or not, it's serving us in a way. And if that means like it's protecting us for something from something, that's why I keep reverting back to protection, protection, protection.
And it comes back to a fear of whatever we accused ourselves of as children, that is ultimately true. What if I am not good enough? So, yeah, it all comes back to also the origin stories as well. Their origin stories. Kathy, what would be the false benefit of this gentleman using I'm old as an excuse?
I think it makes him think it's not him, it's the other person. So, in other words, he feels like there's nothing wrong with him. It's just the others are biased. Yeah.
And then that can be, if we look at 6 core needs, that certainty that I'm right, certainty that I get to control this because it's about the other people. It's not about
Yes.
me. Significance. Again, it's about them, not me.
And it might be sort of a way to make it easy for other people. People are disappointed when they don't get the interview, but by saying it's about age or something, it might soften it for the other people as well. Because I do think people try to manage how other people feel as well.
So if
It's like
his wife's disappointed, he can
Yeah,
say it's about age and not.
yeah. So he kind of makes it, it's, we can say this and then we don't need to keep talking about it.
it's like shifting responsibility because it's not him, it's his age, so it's the
Yeah,
others,
yeah,
plus fear of being judged. Is it
yeah,
like I'm gonna say this, so it's gonna be softer?
yeah.
So it's protecting himself.
It's protection. Yes, the protection.
All comes back to humans work perfectly. At some level, it serves him.
Mm.
So he's saying, I have no choice. I have no choice to upskill because look, I'm old. That's why I'm not going to get these interviews or these jobs. I don't have to take action in addressing my stuck mentality around old-fashioned. This is the way it is, and this is the way I'm always going to operate. And there's no responsibility. What can he do to move forward? And then, Valentina, how would you map the stories too hard, obfuscating, no choice, and excuses onto a particular client that you can think of that uses money, husband, time, kids as an excuse, and then give me their choice, action, and responsibility. And hopefully you see that slide there so you can jump
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have I had a client, it was like last year. She could not, every single time she would, like every single way to we do the weigh in. That's like something that we do in the studio.
Yeah.
And every time she would go up and weight. And every single time she would blame her husband, saying that, sorry, I'm losing my voice. It sounds
It's you this week, not me.
saying that her husband would eat her meal prep. So she never had the meal prep because her husband would eat it, or saying that the husband wanted to go out, like was always something to do with the husband, or that they were arguing, so she would stress eat. There was always something to do with the husband. And I back then I really didn't have the heart to tell her you gotta wake up. I didn't want to be rude and I didn't know how to do it. So every time I was like, okay, yeah, I understand, I'll let it slide. And to be
Became
fair,
that
like
slippery eel that got away.
exactly, like literally looking at it right now, I'm like, what the hell? Like you were just enabling the whole situation. Like I wasn't really helping.
You're
I should
doing a
have like
disservice. You're actually doing a
I would, oh
disservice.
my God, I pressed something. I'm sorry. My phone started ringing. I don't know. Yeah, like looking at it now, knowing all this, I definitely was not helping. Like if I could go back, I'd be like, hey, hello, just try and be the car instead of being the storm. Like you gotta get up of the situation, like get out of the situation. Like it's not your husband, it's you. You need to take responsibility. If your husband eats your meal prep, okay, you can do something else. It
Do
doesn't have
double
to
meal
be.
prep.
Like exactly, like just don't meal prep, do something else. It doesn't have to be that exact meal that he had in mind. It's fine. Let's work on something different. Let's give you an option B. But again, like I was too afraid of saying anything.
Do you still have that client?
No, no. She
And this
left.
is the retention piece that I'm talking about is
Exactly.
if we don't hold the slippery eels still and give them some truth serum in beautiful frameworks like this where you've got rapport and you
Yeah.
can explain this concept first, let it marinate for a week and then circle back to
Yeah, now that I know, right?
it.
Now that I know, I'm definitely going to use this. If any, like if I hear anything like it's my husband, it's my kid, it's my this, it's my that, I'm definitely going to use this.
Yeah, I would teach them 1 week and then come back to it the following
Yeah.
week. So they've got the concept, it marinates first, and then, and if you, by all means, you know that you can use this stuff. do a video on it. So teach the concept face to face. Then I don't know how comfortable you are, and we spoke about this as your sabotager. I have a YouTube channel and I will pull videos of me talking about this stuff all the time and send them to clients. Oh, here's the video that backs up what we were talking about in our session, just so that it reintegrates what I'd said in the session. And maybe in the video, because I shot it like a year, 2 years, some of the videos I've shot 8 years ago, then I may say it's slightly different back then and it might marinate and stick a little bit different because I've used a different example or
And
whatever.
you
But
you
if
can
you can have a
also,
library of that kind of stuff, stick to them, it helps as well. Sorry, Kathy, I cut you off.
no, you can also, like you can work up to it as well. You can say something like, "Oh, I'm noticing a pattern here," and sometimes they'll say, "Yes, I'm blaming my husband again."
Oh, sometimes
So,
they'll say, yeah.
because that's actually really good when they recognize the pattern.
Yeah. Again, like I didn't know any of this, and like I knew in my brain that this is an excuse. Like you use it every week.
Yeah.
I can understand the first time,
Mm.
maybe the second, but the third, the fourth, the fifth, like this is every single week. What's going on?
Mm.
So I don't know, and the situation was a bit weird because her husband would actually train at the gym as well with
Mm.
another trainer. So it was like a bit, I don't know, do I say something? Do I not say anything? Like what do I do? So I just let it slide, and yeah, she's not at the studio anymore, obviously.
But there's patterns. There's always patterns. So her stories, yep. What did she say that was too hard?
She said, yeah, literally, like she would make up all the excuses. She would say that it was too hard because of the husband. Like that was the main thing. Like my husband. It's too hard because of my husband. I can't lose weight because of my husband. I can't eat the meal because of my husband. Like I understand the whole situation that like they had a particular situation at home because he had a brain cancer or something. So it was a bit of a situation at home. But again, like you were doing this for yourself. You said to me when you actually signed up at the gym that you're doing this for yourself to get out of the situation, but you're coming in bringing the situation. Like you're not really doing anything. So yeah, it was hard for her. She didn't have a choice because she didn't want to react to the husband. She didn't want to like talk back to him. She didn't want to do anything. She didn't have a choice.
Yeah. And there may
Like
be guilt about the fact that he had or has brain cancer. I don't want to
probably,
anger him or whichever.
I
probably.
think I'm just thinking about how Kim got me past some of mine in the past because she's very good at getting me past my excuses. But I think sometimes taking me back a bit about how did it happen in my life before whatever it is that my excuse is. Because I might say, we're very busy at work this week or whatever, but she might say something. So, if you go back, a little bit, what was it then? And you sort of go, oh, it was something else I was putting in the way.
Mm.
That actually helps. And I think that's that going back to childhood. Kim gets you back there very quickly.
That's all the where the clues are.
Yeah, but it's true because it might be her husband now, but it might have been the kids. It might have been something else before. And it's very
Like
hard
eating your food.
when you know their husband as well. That makes it really hard. So you don't want to get into that bit. Going back might really help.
How did she obfuscate or smoke screen or pretend that it was all okay?
She kept saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine."
Mm.
But yeah, she would like just rub it off like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be okay next week."
Yeah.
She would rub it off always like that.
And then excuses. Yeah, we heard lots of those. So unfortunately, we don't have her in front of us. But if you were that client, what are some of the choices that she has?
Well, first of all, we could have decided not to have a meal plan, like not to have a meal prep, but maybe have like an idea and cook in the moment so that she could have had what she had planned or like or coming to the gym, that was like one of the things that she would never come to classes. And every single time, again, same for the meal prep. She would blame her husband, saying that she couldn't sleep because of her husband, so she couldn't wake up in the morning. But I remember once she said that they actually sleep in separate rooms. Yeah,
So you need some earplugs.
exactly. They would sleep in separate rooms, so you can actually like go to your room, sleep, and wake up in the morning and come to the gym.
Yeah.
You can have a shower here and go to work. Like there are solutions. We
Mm.
can find solution to any excuse.
And sometimes clients come in with such a narrow view, and our job is just to expand their choices, to help them, prompt them, don't tell them their choices, but prompt them to come up with some better solutions. Because they'll have their blinkers on, and until someone actually asks them.
Exactly. Like, would you just ask them, like, what
Yeah.
could you do instead? Something like that.
Yep. And then to keep, and Kathy's heard this a million times, what else? What else? What else? What else? And you just hammer the what else, because you then take out the logical and some of it ends up being unconscious and creative. So yeah, you do hammer the what else, what else, what else.
The other thing I remember, I'm thinking back to when you first started coaching me about food, Kim.
Hmm.
One thing that worked for me that I would never have expected to work was Kim worked out, well, she talked to me about my love language. And I love words, but I also love gifts. And what I would do is write a tag and put it on my on my prepared meal to make it like a gift tag on my meals. But I was thinking for this lady in particular, if she tagged her thing as this is my meal, her husband wouldn't eat it. Or
Very nourishing meal.
if it was in her lunchbox or in her,
Probably.
but she probably didn't know how to say to him, you've eaten the meal. I like if they've always been able to eat whatever's in the fridge. But if she put a gift tag on it, but like I wouldn't even buy
Probably, yeah.
myself, you can't see it here, but I wouldn't even
Yeah,
buy
it's your water
myself a
bottle.
water bottle. Um, so Kim talked me into doing those kind of things.
And they're little things. It's
Yeah.
little
And
tiny
now I just do it. Like it's really helped.
It could have actually been a possible solution though,
things.
because
Yeah.
he probably didn't even know.
Yeah, what you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that I've really liked about working with Kim is if something hasn't worked with me, she tries something else. It's like relentless. She's got a way
Oh, yeah.
so many tools in her tool bag.
Yes. Actually, that was in the front of my book is some testimonies, and I think Lawanda said something like that. Was she always has some kind of tool in her
Yeah.
toolbox that's allowed, and because it also comes from my own lived experience. I've been the binger, so I know what it feels like. Side note: I realized I haven't shared my other favorite. I have lots of favorite quotes, but one of them is, "How do you eat an elephant? One spoonful at a time." So you don't try and eat its whole leg because you get overwhelmed and do nothing. It's one spoonful at a time. So with that client, yes, you could brainstorm 100 different choices, but she was only to choose one because she's got to eat that spoonful of elephant, because that takes away the overwhelm and anxiety that you'll come
Yeah.
up against with clients. Okay. And when I do coaching calls, it's 3 pieces of homework. And it's usually something nutrition, something movement, and something mindset, or stress reduction is the other big one as well. So we talked a little bit about the actions that she could have taken, and then responsibility. What would that have been?
Well, that would have been 100% her responsibility to take. You set your alarm. You tag your food. You have to decide what to eat, what not to eat. You have to talk to your husband. That
Mm.
would have been a main one. You
If
have
we're
to,
looking for patterns, I wouldn't be surprised if there's other things that get swept under the carpet and not talked about.
most likely.
Yeah. She's learned to not speak up, not articulate her needs. Her voice doesn't matter. people pleasing, martyrdom syndrome. Oh, look, I
Yeah.
sacrificed my meal for him, so therefore I feel good.
Something must have happened then way before.
For her
Way
to
before.
not speak up and not.
She probably doesn't, the same as me. Like she feels like if she says something, she might hurt someone or offend
Mm.
someone. And yeah,
Especially if he had brain cancer as well, there could be that fear. So there's more and more layers. So this is where the work gets fascinating, doesn't it? Because you're like,
that's
oh,
intense.
now I can see how there's so many things that just keep going and going and going. And if we just tug on this thread, then the rest of it will start to form or unravel in a good way. In a good way, because we've got to unravel the stories because they are the authors of their stories. They're not the actors. They just stop acting like the actors and letting life just happen to them. Okay, so driving the car is about being in control. So who do you know that is a car? What do they do differently? And this is model of excellence. And I use the model of excellence frame. So out there is somebody that has what your client or you want. What do they do differently to you?
I know
Success leaves clues.
there is a lady that I follow on Instagram, for example.
Mm,
She's the business coach,
yeah,
but she's an aspiration for me because she would be like a car, for example.
yeah.
Straight, like she says it as it is on your face, like she doesn't really care. But she's really good on mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything is her responsibility. Like that's her main thing. It's my own life, so it's my own responsibility. If I make a mistake, it's because I made a mistake, not because of other people. And she talks a lot about go and do the things because obviously no one is going to do it for you. But if you want to have something, you have to go and do it.
Yeah.
Like when you don't want to, when you feel sad, when it's raining outside, you have to go and do what you have to do to get the result that you want.
Yeah.
And when I hear her speaking, it's just such a freaking inspiration for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, that for me would be like she's a car.
Choices does she make differently to what you make?
She's definitely not afraid of speaking on social media. That is for sure.
That came up. I don't know if Kathy, if you're a part of that
Yeah,
session.
we talked about it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? What other choices does she have?
Well, she does wake up really early in the morning. Although she has like a successful business, she doesn't have to wake up in the morning. She
Mm.
does a 5K run every single day, goes to
Yep.
the gym every single day, have her food like nailed down. And she's not even like in the fitness industry, but she really takes care of her body. I don't know, I feel like she's one of those that really does everything. If I say something, I'm gonna do it. And that's
Keeping her own word to herself.
yeah.
When clients started to keep their word to themselves, you'd be surprised what they're capable of achieving. If I said that I was going to get up early in the morning and I do it, keep your own word with yourself.
That is one of the biggest things that she talks about. If
Mm.
you say you're going to do something, do it because you promise to yourself.
And from then you get the dopamine response, and that from a chemical response, it then creates that feedback loop. I do this, I've done it, I've achieved it, and then you get the feel good hormones, and then you're more inclined to keep doing it. And then what actions can you do differently to what you're doing, similar to what she's doing?
Get that phone up and speak.
Sorry, what was that?
Get the phone up and just speak from camera
Yes.
and just do
Yeah.
it.
Just
I
from
mean,
your heart.
don't get me wrong, like I do speak on camera, but I know that sometimes I like keep it down.
Mm.
I don't really say
You
it.
water it down or
Yes.
you
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. What is it? Don't sugarcoat it because you'll eat that too. It
Literally.
is funny, I think.
Literally. But that is one of the things that I have to do. I need to stop doing that and just like say it as it is.
Beautiful. And then what responsibility does she take that you're currently not taking?
Well, as I said, like everything, it's like her life, it's her own responsibility. And I think like at the moment, maybe one of the things that I'm not doing, I'm giving my responsibility away to the algorithm.
Mm.
Like I'm saying, is the algorithm that hates me, is the algorithm that doesn't show my reels, whereas it's not the case. And I deep down, I know that. I know that.
And I don't get caught up in the algorithm. I don't even look at it. I just put what's on my heart out.
That's what I try to do, but then when you go and see that it's like 100 views and your mom liked it and no one else, it's like, why the hell am I even doing this? You know, you feel like a bit, and you get like, oh yes, the algorithm is not showing my reel, it's not really happening, whereas it's not really the case.
Yeah,
And I
you
know.
speak through the noisy crowd. You need to cut through the noise with things that are truly on your heart, that are authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know that it's hard for people to hear that their body fat is a storage of stories. But I've said that on social media quite happily because I believe it and it comes from my heart. So this using that model of excellence is helpful as well to just brainstorm ways for your client to get out of this stuck position. Is okay, who has what you want and what do they do differently? And for example, Kathy, the gentleman that thinks he's too old, well, you would be his model of excellence. Well,
Yeah.
what do you do differently? So you can use that for your example, or you can come up with something different. It's up to you.
I'm actually going to use one for I really had trouble thinking about what do people who eat really well do, because I don't think I had the models around me growing up,
Mm.
or whatever. And one day I was walking upstairs behind somebody at work and I just noticed that they had two lunch bags. They were really skinny and fit and they were going up the stairs and I was doing the stairs trying to get fit. And and I just thought, my goodness, I bring a really small sandwich to work and then I'm hungry at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And this person had salad and fruit and they needed two lunch bags and they were skinny. And I just thought, my goodness. And so I think I mentioned it to Kim and she said, start watching what other people do. And I'll be, in a queue at the cafe and I'll be thinking about what I'm going to order. And then I'll pick someone and I'll think, I wonder what they're going to order. And I started watching what they did. And then I started thinking, I could order the salad.
And what would a healthy person do?
Because I would never
You
have
said
ordered salad before. Salad is something you eat at home, but eating a salad out. And then I just noticed people ordering salad, but they'd order the salad and they'd add chicken or something else to it. And that had never occurred to me because the salad wasn't enough food, but I could order a salad and chicken.
Yeah. Where's the protein?
It was just such good advice. What do they do differently to me?
So what choices do they do differently?
Yes.
Carry two lunch bags.
They put salad dressing on their salads to make them interesting. Whereas I was in that diet thing where you had to suffer. You had to eat dry biscuits and no flavor and
Yeah, no dressing on your
yeah.
salad.
Kim gave me back enjoying food actually.
That's so good.
And then what's the responsibility piece?
Well, that was about me then actioning what I was seeing, I think. I was seeing the behaviors and I still didn't do it for a while. Like I'd stand behind them in the queue and I'd still order what I'd been going to order. And then I just took responsibility for changing.
Beautiful. Okay. So a model of excellence, and this can go back to your social media lady, it'll be positive, but sometimes blunt by the sounds of it, which is good. They'll take ownership of their behavior, like getting up at silly o'clock in the morning, even though they're not a traditional athlete or anything like that. They'll believe that they are in control. By her getting up and doing a 5K run or going to the gym every day, that gives her routine and structure. That gives her certainty and control. Create maximum opportunity and potential. and they dump all the excuses. The model of excellence has clues. And how do they hold themselves? Change your physiology. This is my power pose. It was beautiful. I was doing an NLP course, and they knew that what I did was represent Australia. So there was this, because I wasn't the coach, I wasn't facilitating at this point. There was another coach facilitating, and this beautiful woman, she was just so nervous, so withdrawn, so self-conscious, had no self-esteem. And then the facilitator got me up and she's like, well, how do you hold yourself? And just naturally, I walk around with strong posture. And she asked about my power pose. And she says, like, when you're about to step out onto the platform at Worlds, what do you do? And that this pose is here. And then she's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm going to take on the world. So what ended up happening is I got the whole entire group to mimic my power pose and me saying, I'll take on the world. I'll take on the world. And it was just beautiful for me to be screaming that and then having these people scream it back at me. But then to see the woman with low self-esteem, just the change in her posture, her tonality in her face, just everything about her completely changed from doing a power pose that I do when I'm about to take on the world in powerlifting. So using your power pose and then coming up with a power pose with your client can completely take on a different meaning. So if we revert back to Valentina, your client, about the husband, well, she's scared to talk to him. What would be her power pose? And that would put her in a better body position to then be able to articulate her needs, speak up, address and communicate what she needs to, because she's got a strong foundation, which is the power pose. And Kathy, I think you've got a story about power poses as well.
I do. I actually use this myself before I get interviewed, and I use it if I have to do something that I'm nervous about. And it's the Supergirl pose. You know, she puts her hands on her hips and she stands there really, really tall. And when you go for an interview, you're going into a building that you probably haven't been in before, but there are always toilets, and you can always ask to use the toilet. But there's always toilets, and in the toilet there's cubicles, and you can stand in a cubicle in the Superwoman pose, and no one sees you, so you can actually do it. But the effect of doing it lasts for about 10 minutes, and so when you walk into the room for the interview, you still have the effect of the power pose. So that first impression um, really helps, and it helps a lot of people. And you can sit in the interview in the power pose as well, like you just do a smaller version of it. And so I've taught
Up your
heaps of
hands,
people,
like put your hands on your hips, but open up
yeah,
your hands.
and speaking up in meetings and all of those sorts of things. I've taught so many people the power pose, and such a simple, simple thing. And then I tell them about the psychology of it too, as well. And because I work with a lot of IT people and they like to know all the details.
I didn't know that 10-minute, which is the fact that it does last for about 10 minutes. I didn't know that piece, so thank you for that.
Yeah, which is long enough for you to lift your lift.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done by 10 minutes. I'm back waiting for my next lift after that. Valentina, do you have a power pose or have you something
I've
like this before?
never heard of it. Never
So
heard of
maybe
it.
if you're worried about speaking your truth and authentically online, you do a power pose
I'm thinking
before
about
you
it.
jump on the video.
I'm literally thinking about it, yes. And I like the idea of having my Supergirl.
Yeah,
I like that.
love it, love it, love it. Okay, so you can start driving the car, you can get results, you can take responsibility, you can realize there's possibility to make different choices. So now we're going to use your businesses as a PT, or in Kathy's situation, and how are you being a stone? So stories. Oh, I forgot the S bit. Stories. What stories do you tell yourself that you can't be successful in business?
Me,
Yep. Or both of you. Whoever wants to speak first.
I think like I've never had it and never actually seen anyone around me. So it's not for me.
Yeah. I did some work recently about it's not available for me.
Yeah.
Kathy?
I think for me, it was thinking that I had to wait for somebody else to say it's okay for you to do this.
Mm, yeah. And then how do you tell yourself that it's too hard? Or anything negative that takes you.
Sometimes I feel like because I'm Italian, like English is my second language. You probably heard me like the way I speak is a bit like sometimes I miss a word or whatever. But that's part of like that makes it harder for me.
Denise Duffield Thomas, she's great. She owns Money Boot Camp and she's a multimillionaire. And she talks about the mindset behind money. So similar to what we talk about, which is the mindset behind eating. And she's Australian. She's from Newcastle. And one of the reasons she didn't used to do videos is because she was worried people wouldn't like her accent.
Yeah.
And here she is now with a multi-million-dollar business because she got over that whole they won't like my accent, which is something similar to what you're saying. It's great to follow, by the way, if you want to follow someone very inspirational. And she's neurodivergent as well, so
There
just
you go.
goes as proof. Kathy, what have you put as too hard? Or
I think for me, and I'm better at getting over it, but for a long time, society had this real, you needed to be a bloke to be a project manager. And so female project managers just had to work a little bit harder, don't get believed as much, etc. And I think I've gotten past it, but I think that was always a too hard thing for me. Was yeah, there was something wrong with me that I wasn't the typical one, so it had to be harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you obfuscate, confuse it, procrastinate, or self-sabotage?
Yeah, I'll do it later. I'll find any excuse. But
It's
I have,
not that bad. I can live
yeah,
on the wage that I live on without growing my business.
exactly. Like if anything, I still have the studio. I can always work there, or I can go back to hospitality. It's not that bad.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful ways of displaying what obfuscation is. So I've got a client that is overweight and she keeps saying, "Oh, but my blood work is good." It's like, it might be good now, it won't be. So that's that whole obfuscating. And what did she call it? Oh, Pollyanna, the whole Pollyanna thing. Pollyanna, is it Polly Pockets or Pollyanna? Pollyanna thinking is like always looking at the bright side, but completely ignoring the truth or what is happening in the exact situation. Kathy, how do you obfuscate?
I think with me, it's I'm going to use the food one. I am actually really, really healthy. I'm really healthy and really, really capable. The only thing wrong with me is that I'm fat. And so it was kind of like, I'm so healthy. This is just one thing. Um, yeah. So that would be mine.
No choice. How is it that I think I have no choice?
How is it? I think I have no choice. That's interesting. How do I think that I have no choice? Is
Which is along the vein of you blaming the algorithm.
yeah, I was thinking about that. Maybe yeah, literally saying like it's not really me, it's the algorithm that doesn't really show like I can't do anything because it's the algorithm.
I think I think that's actually what I was going to say is I actually used to think that because my own family wouldn't like my posts, there was something wrong. I didn't realize that they weren't my target market. And also that I actually appeal to people who are introverts, and so they don't tend to hit like. The fact that I'm not getting likes doesn't mean I'm not being listened to. And it took me a long time to realize that occasionally people would say, "Oh, I saw something you posted on LinkedIn." And I was really interested. And I was thinking, I thought that post got 30 impressions and nobody looked at it, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think it was similar.
And when I'm talking about emotional eating, I understand why people aren't liking it because they don't want to be seen as the person that does emotionally eat. I had a client once tell me, I would much rather run down the street naked than people know of my binging episodes.
Mm.
That's how ashamed she was of it.
Yeah.
So when people aren't liking my stuff about emotional eating, I completely understand why they're not liking it. It's fine because the message is still getting out there. Like you said, Kathy, that only got 30 impressions, but this person remembered it and
Mm.
brought it up to you. What excuses do you tell yourself and others?
Well, is the algorithm? I can't, people won't like me, so I'm not gonna do it. I need to go to the gym, so I'll do it later. Like I can give you 1,000.
That's sufficient then. Gabby?
Yeah, I think it's the it sometimes it's even I need to make some time to do to actually just rest. You know, I could be working on this, but I should be doing some rest is important too, or whatever it is. And that might be how it's easy to sit in front of the TV. Like, you know, I really need to have some time to myself to just do nothing. And so I think I sometimes use good behaviors as an excuse,
Mm.
but I tie them to something that's not necessarily the good behavior that, you know, it's not meditation, it's not
Yeah,
nurturing myself, it's actually just sitting and getting some free dopamine.
free dopamine. Love that. Love that. Yeah, and really, there was a book I listened to, Dopamine Nation, and yeah, it talks about cheap dopamine, where meditation you would actually get a lot more out of. That involves, well, I like to lay down when I meditate, going to my room and laying down and listening to a meditation as opposed to sitting in front of a TV and getting cheap dopamine. Okay, so moving forward, being the carb, and we'll go for 10 choices. We'll see how many you get first up. Then I'll circle to the next person. And then we'll try and get as many 10 different choices that you have. So, Valentina, what choices do you have in regards to this social media procrastination?
Or do just do it. Just honestly, just do it.
Just do it. Okay, what else?
Just do it. Um, I could write it
Mm-hmm.
like a post a carousel, for example.
Yep.
Um, I could write an email if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think. How could I say what I actually want to say? I could use analogies.
Yep. Analogies connect what we know with what we don't know, and it's really good for people. That's why we've got Car and Stone.
Yeah, I could actually use analogies now that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. And it sticks in people's brains better.
I could get out of the house
Yeah.
because that gets me like when I'm inside and I've been inside for a long time, it gets me down.
So change your environment.
Um, I could get some inspiration from that lady.
Yeah, if you look at Denise Duffield Thomas and you can just spin whatever she's saying towards exercise and food,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Or your other lady, because mindset stuff, you can talk about that stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I could actually talk about all the excuses that I've heard over the years.
Yeah.
I could talk about that.
One more.
Mm. I could actually talk about the success stories as well. It
Yes,
doesn't have
absolutely.
to be
Talk about your
negative.
testimonials.
Doesn't
Yes,
just have to be negative, right?
absolutely. Yeah, talk about your testimonials. Definitely. And even better if you can get people to video
Mm.
and speak on camera about their journey with you, even better. Other ones, use ChatGPT, look at all the viral videos and see if you can do something similar.
Yeah, I did look on like viral things and whatever, and I was doing
Mm,
a lot of those, but I feel like with those I was just like hiding behind those things.
okay.
As in like yeah, I was explaining things. It was like educational sort of thing, but it wasn't really me. I was just hiding behind the reels, the educational good edits and whatever, but I wasn't actually being authentic and saying what I want to say,
Okay, yeah.
which is my main focus right now. That's what I want to work on.
Yeah. Beautiful. Kathy, are we ready?
Yes, so I've been really working on getting myself on video a lot. So 10 choices that I have there. I actually put aside an hour a week that I'm just going to make videos. So I do that.
You?
Um, I come up with ideas of videos that I could make. I get get used to sort of actually looking at myself. So like in meetings at work, for example, I could leave the camera on instead of turning it off. I can make sure, like one reason that I wasn't doing them was my hair wouldn't be right or something like that. So I started probably blow drying my hair more often. I took away that choice. Um, so other actions would be so something else because I'm actually doing it. So it's sort of like um, saying it. I have used AI to help myself write the video descriptions and everything, all of the things that used to just like take time with the processing. I've spent money on a video editing tool. So I learned to use video editing tools. I do them a lot faster.
Money across the table
I
and it makes us do things.
Yeah, I have I did a little bit of learning about things like doing end screens and getting people to like listen to a playlist or whatever. So like when I post a video, they all go into a playlist and stuff like that. So um and I also got into the habit of being able to just post it. I try to make one piece of content do several things. I learned that from Kim because she'll do a piece of content and turn it into 10 things. But I will find something and then I'll make sure I'll post it on Facebook and I'll post it on Instagram. And I recently actually posted on LinkedIn, which was a harder one for me because that's my um, professional space. And um, I learned to start looking at some of my videos as well, because I used to post them and never ever look at them. And I thought, well, if I'm really going to be honest about, it's okay if I make a mistake or if I stumble. Like it's actually quite good for my clients to hear me stumble with my words. But then if
Especially if they're
I listen to
interviewing.
them, I get used to hearing myself too. So I'm not thinking, oh, listen to my voice, or isn't that a bit odd, or whatever. So that's been really, really good as well. And sometimes I'll be sitting here and I'll just hit my YouTube playlist and have it going so that I'm seeing myself, so that I'm becoming more comfortable with seeing myself. Because it's actually me who needs to be comfortable. Everyone else doesn't care, but I need to be comfortable.
Yes. That actually brings me to a thought that I should be taking the transcript, the audio from this, and I should put it up on my podcast channel.
Can't hear you, sorry, Kim.
Oh, why can't you hear me?
I can hear.
Oh,
Okay, keep going.
I don't know. Yeah, I should take the recordings from this and put it up on my channel.
Yeah.
My podcast channel. Okay. Where are we? So what will you do in the next 24 hours? Because you know that I like action within 24 hours. You don't know that, Valentina. I get clients to do things within 24 hours. Give them a deadline so they actually do it. I think that's a Tony Robbins concept is don't go away from the inception without doing something within 24 hours to lock it in.
I think that's the first thing that you said on the first call.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I talk so much and I have so much stuff. And as you can see, I barely go by my slides anyway. So what are we going to do in the next 24 hours?
I think I'm going to run a carousel.
I think you should get on video and say the one thing and then post it in our circle community. Say the one thing that has been on your heart to say that you haven't had the guts to say.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
How do you fly? You jump off the cliff. Kathy, what's your one thing in 24 hours?
I am going to make a video that explains what the transformation that I give my clients is. So basically, I'm going to do something that starts with what the transformation is and then how they can work with me to get the transformation. Rather than blah, 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 and this is what I do. This is what I do. Do it backwards. So
it's like a testimonial, but coming from your own voice.
Yeah, it's saying this is what you'll get and then explaining it.
Beautiful. Pop that up in the circle group as well.
Yeah.
So thank you both very much for coming. Next session 5 is next, which is where I do a belief change script. So we take a belief and we use an NLP script and we map it across, and that will be fun. So I know that Kathy's done it, so I'm going to get Valentina to think of a limiting belief. So back to I want to achieve X, but I don't, because I keep sabotaging Y, because deep down I believe X, Y, Z. Do that, and we'll take that belief and put you through NLP to be able to change that. It's a really good foundational NLP skill. So that's on our next call. Do practice everything that I've taught you. Look at that framework of car and stone and which client you can apply that to and have that first conversation about car and stone. And that way you are practicing what I'm teaching you. And by all means, Kim in the group, I think Kim put up that she wants a practice buddy. So jump in and practice. She's listening to a lot of the replays because she can't jump on live, which is perfectly fine. I get that as well. But I'd love for you all to be practicing these skills because that's how you cement it in your brain and how it becomes more natural and fluid as you go along. And then you'll have success stories to share on social media. Beautiful. Thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next session. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.